Stop, do not scroll past this moment, for this is not a coincidence. I have orchestrated this very second, this very breath, for you to hear my voice. I see you holding your phone with trembling hands, your heart heavy with a weight that no one else can see. I have seen the tears you wiped away in the dark when you thought you were alone, and I have heard the silent screams of your soul crying out for a sign. You have reached the end of your strength, and you are standing at the edge of a cliff, wondering if I have forgotten you. But I am here to tell you that I am closer than your next heartbeat. This is your divine appointment, a sacred pause in the middle of your chaos. If you are feeling a chill down your spine or a sudden warmth in your chest, it is my spirit touching you, confirming that this message was written specifically for you, the chosen one. Before I reveal the magnificent blessing that is currently manifesting in your life, I want to see your faith in action. Do not remain a hidden observer. Declare your presence before the heavens and let the atmosphere know that you are ready to receive. Type, "I am here, Lord," or 7007 right now in the comments to open the gates of heaven over your life. This simple act of typing is your spiritual signature, a signal that you are stepping out of the shadows and into my light. Also, I invite you to join this family of believers by pressing the like button to signal your agreement with heaven, and subscribe to this channel to walk this spiritual journey with me every day. By doing this, you are telling the universe that you are no longer a victim of your circumstances, but a victor in my kingdom. My beloved, I want you to understand the season you are in. You feel like you're in a dark place, a place of isolation, a place where the lights have been turned off. You might feel like you are being buried under the weight of your debts, your loneliness, and your failures. But I want you to shift your perspective. You are not being buried. You are being planted. And more than that, you are in my dark room. Think of the way a photograph was created in the old days. The photographer would take the film into a dark room, a place where no outside light could enter. If the light were to rush in too soon, the image would be ruined, the colors would be washed out, and the beauty would be lost forever. The darkness is not your enemy. It is your development. In this dark room of your life, I am developing the image of who I created you to be. I am working on the details that can only be formed in the stillness. You ask me why it has to be so dark, why I seem so silent, and why the chemicals of your trials feel so stinging and uncomfortable. Those chemicals, the betrayals, the delays, the heartaches are there to make the image permanent. They are stripping away the layers of the old you so that the brilliance of the new you can shine through. Without this darkroom season, you would be a shallow reflection. But through this process, you are becoming a masterpiece. I have turned off the worldly distractions because I need your undivided attention. I am refining your character, sharpening your spiritual vision, and preparing you for the exposure to the great light that is coming. You are being developed, my precious child, not destroyed. Every moment of this holy stop is calculated with divine precision. I know exactly how long you need to stay in this environment before I bring you out into the light of your breakthrough. Do not try to rush the process. Do not try to open the door before I say it is time. If you exit the dark room too early, you will be underdeveloped and unable to handle the weight of the glory I am about to pour upon you. Trust the hands of the great photographer. I have never missed a shot, and I have never ruined a masterpiece. You are my greatest work, and very soon the world will see the breathtaking image I have been forming in the secret place. Hold on just a little longer, for the development is almost complete. I know the frustration that gnaws at your spirit when you cry out to me and hear nothing but the echo of your own voice. I see you staring at the ceiling in the middle of the night, wondering if my ears have become heavy. or if my heart has grown cold toward you. You feel as though you are speaking to a brick wall, and the silence feels like a vast, empty desert where your prayers go to die. You look around and see others receiving their miracles, hearing my voice clearly, and stepping into their blessings while you remain in a corridor of stillness. This silence has made you question your worth, your faith, and even my love for you. But I am here to tell you, my beloved, that my silence is never an absence of my presence. It is not a sign of my displeasure, nor is it a punishment for your past mistakes. In the kingdom of heaven, silence is not a void. It is a strategic season of deep spiritual preparation. Understand this. My precious child, there is a profound difference between the silence of neglect and the silence of intimacy. When you are with a stranger, silence is awkward and must be filled with meaningless chatter. But when you are with someone who knows your soul, silence is a sanctuary. It is a sign of ultimate trust. I am silent right now because I am trusting you with my presence without the need for constant signs and wonders. I am drawing you into a deeper level of maturity where you no longer need spiritual milk to survive, but can stand firm on the solid food of my character. I am quiet because I am leaning in closer than ever before, whispering directly into the depths of your spirit where words are no longer necessary. My silence is an invitation for you to stop searching for my hands, start seeking my face. While I am silent, I am never still. I am working behind the scenes with a complexity and a precision that your human mind cannot yet grasp. Think of a master builder working on the foundation of a great cathedral. The neighbors may not hear the music or see the decorations yet, but the most critical, heavy-duty work is happening beneath the surface. I am busy right now rearranging the pieces of your destiny. I am closing doors that would have led you to destruction and whispering into the hearts of people you haven't even met yet to prepare them for your arrival. I am dismantling the traps the enemy has set for your future and recalibrating your path to align with the abundance I have promised. If I were to tell you everything I'm doing at this very moment, your heart would be overwhelmed. I am mute because I am focused on the intricate details of your restoration. My silence is also a test not to trip you up, but to prove to you how far you have come. It is the test of what you have learned in the seasons of plenty. Will you still trust me when you cannot track me? Will you still believe my word when you cannot feel my warmth? You are being trained to walk by faith and not by sight. This quietness is the womb of your next miracle. Do not mistake my stillness for abandonment. I did not bring you this far to leave you in the wilderness. I am the God who stays. Even when I am quiet, I am holding you. Even when I am mute, I am fighting for you. The silence is about to break, and when it does, it will be with a roar of breakthrough that will leave no doubt that I have been with you all along. My child, do you feel as though your life is moving in reverse? Do you feel like every time you take one step forward, the circumstances of this world drag you 3 steps back? I see the frustration in your eyes as you watch your bank account dwindle, your relationships fray, and your dreams seem to drift further away from your reach. You feel like you are losing ground, like you are falling behind everyone else, and you wonder why I'm allowing this retreat. But I want you to look closer. I want you to see what I see. In the spiritual realm, you are not losing. You are being positioned. You are not falling back. You are being drawn back by my sovereign hand. You must understand the divine physics of the kingdom. For an arrow to fly with unstoppable force and hit a target that is miles away, it must first be pulled back with great tension. The pressure you feel right now is the tension of the bowstring. The loss of that job, the rejection from that person you loved, and the financial dry spell you are enduring. These are not signs of my abandonment. They are the pulling back of the arrow. If I were to just drop you where you are, you would never have the momentum to reach the heights I have destined for you. The further back you are pulled, the greater the velocity you will have when I finally release you. The deeper the valley, the higher the mountain you are about to scale. You have been wondering why the resistance is so strong lately, and it is because the destination I have set for you is farther and more glorious than anything you have ever imagined. You are being prepared for a trajectory that will shock those who mocked you. I want you to feel the vibration of the bow. At the moment of the greatest tension, right before the archer lets go, the arrow begins to tremble. That trembling is the state of your life right now. You feel shaky, you feel like you are at your breaking point, and you feel like you cannot hold on for one more second. This vibration is the sign that the release is imminent. It is the energy of the breakthrough building up within you. I am holding the bow, and my eye is fixed on the target, a life of abundance, a legacy of peace, and a testimony of my power. I have not forgotten the aim. I have not lost my grip. The tension is necessary because the target is huge, and I need you to have enough power to pierce through every wall the enemy has built to stop you. Do not try to wiggle out of my hand. Do not try to jump off the bowstring out of fear. If you let go now, you will simply fall to the ground wasted and without purpose. Stay centered. Stay focused on my voice. I am about to let go. I am about to release the tension and launch you into a season of suddenly. Suddenly the doors will open. Suddenly the debt will be cleared. Suddenly the healing will manifest. You are about to fly past the people who thought they had outpaced you. You are about to soar over the obstacles that once seemed like mountains. Trust the archer, for I am the one who knows the end from the beginning. And I promise you, my chosen one, your flight will be magnificent. Before I release you into this new momentum, let us seal this truth together. If you can feel the tension shifting into power, do not stay silent. Join this family of faith and press the like button to signal your agreement with heaven. And subscribe to this channel to stay aligned with my word. Type "I am ready to fly" or 8888 in the comments to claim your new beginning. Your words are seeds, and by declaring your readiness, you are allowing me to take the aim. The wind of my spirit is behind you, and nothing can stop the arrow that I have launched. My beloved, look around you at the walls of your current situation. You feel trapped, do you not? You feel as though you are sitting in a waiting room while the rest of the world is moving forward at light speed. You see your peers getting promoted, your friends getting married, and your neighbors building the homes you once dreamed of, while you remain in this stagnant air of not yet. You have begun to believe the lie that you are stuck, that you are being punished, or that I have simply looked past you. But I am here to pull back the veil. You are not stuck. You are enrolled. You are currently a student in the University of Waiting, the most prestigious training ground in my kingdom. I do not give big assignments to small people, and I do not place a heavy crown on a weak neck, for it would only break you. You are praying for the blessing, but I am preparing the vessel that will hold it. I have brought 3 witnesses from the halls of divine history to stand beside you today, to show you that your current struggle has a sacred syllabus. Look first at my servant Joseph. I gave him a dream of greatness when he was but a boy, a vision of stars and sun and moon bowing down to him. But immediately after the dream, the nightmare began. He was thrown into a pit by his own blood, sold into slavery, and eventually cast into the cold, damp stone walls of a dungeon for a crime he did not commit. Joseph sat in that prison for years, forgotten by the very men he had helped. Can you imagine the silent tears he shed against those dark walls, wondering if the dream I gave him was just a cruel joke? He was a man of integrity, yet his reward was a chain. But listen closely, Joseph wasn't just waiting. In the house of Potiphar, he was learning to manage wealth. In the prison, he was learning to manage people and pain. He was being trained in the art of administration in the dark so that he could save the world during the famine. If I had taken him straight from his father's house to the palace of Pharaoh, his pride would have destroyed him. The prison made him a savior. You are in your prison season right now because I am teaching you how to manage the very thing you are praying for. Then witness the life of Moses. He had the passion to save my people, but he tried to do it with his own strength, with a sword and a fist, and it ended in a grave in the sand. So I led him into the backside of the desert for 40 long years. Can you feel the weight of 40 years of silence? He went from being a prince of Egypt surrounded by gold and the finest education to being a simple shepherd tending to sheep that weren't even his own. He thought his story was over. He thought his burning fire had been quenched by the desert winds. But in those 4 decades, I was stripping away the Egyptian pride and the reliance on human power. I was teaching him the patience of a shepherd, for you cannot lead 1,000,000 stubborn people through a wilderness if you cannot first lead a flock of sheep through the dust. The burning bush did not appear on day 1. It appeared only when Moses was finally ready to take off his shoes and listen. You are in your desert season because I am teaching you that your true strength is found only in your total surrender to me. And finally, look at David. He was anointed with holy oil to be king while he was still a teenager, smelling of the sheep he tended. He felt the weight of the promise, but for years his only reality was running for his life from a madman named Saul. He spent his best years hiding in damp, dark caves like Adullam, surrounded by men who were broken in debt and discontented. Why would I anoint a man and then let him be hunted like an animal? Because David needed to learn spiritual warfare. He needed to learn that I was his rock, his fortress, and his deliverer, not just in a song, but in the heat of the battle. He needed to write the Psalms in the dark so that they could comfort you in your dark today. He learned to lead a small band of mighty men in the caves before I gave him the armies of Israel. If you are in your cave season feeling hidden and hunted by debt or depression, know that I am training your hands for war and your fingers for battle. You are learning to trust the anointing even when you don't see the appointment. My chosen ones, stop asking me why and start asking me, what am I learning? Are you in the class of management like Joseph? Are you in the class of humility like Moses? Or are you in the class of warfare like David? Do not try to cheat on the exam of this season. Do not try to graduate early by taking shortcuts that lead to dead ends. If I gave you the $1 million you are asking for today, would it heal your soul or just fuel your distractions? If I gave you that relationship today, would you lose yourself in them and forget the one who made you? I am more interested in your character than your comfort, for character is the only thing that can carry the weight of the glory I am about to reveal. Suffering produces endurance, and endurance produces character, and character produces a hope that will never put you to shame. You are stronger than you think, and I am watching you pass this test with every breath of faith you take. If you realize now that you are not being forgotten but being prepared for a throne, then do not remain silent. This is a moment of divine realization. Press the like button right now to signal your agreement with this heavenly training and subscribe to this channel to join this army of believers who are moving from the cave to the palace. By doing this, you are telling the enemy that his tactics of discouragement are no longer working. You are acknowledging that you are a student of the Most High and your graduation day is closer than you think. Type "I am passing the test" or 1111 in the comments to lock in this breakthrough. I see your faithfulness in the little things, and I am getting ready to make you ruler over much. The University of Waiting is about to hold its commencement ceremony, and your name is at the top of the list. My precious one, I know the hollow ache that resides in your chest when the person you trusted most walked away without looking back. I saw the way your hands shook when you received that email saying you weren't the right fit for the dream you had spent years chasing. I have felt the burning embarrassment of being overlooked, left out, and treated as if you were invisible by people who were supposed to love and support you. You have been carrying the weight of rejection like a heavy cloak, believing that the no you received was a verdict on your value. You think you were rejected because you weren't good enough, smart enough, or worthy enough. But I am here to tell you that rejection is rarely a reflection of your worth. It is most often my divine intervention disguised as disappointment. You see a closed door as a failure, but I see it as a barricade I placed there to keep you from walking into a fire you couldn't see. Every person who walked out of your life was removed because they were not equipped to handle the weight of the glory I'm about to place upon you. They were a part of your history, but they were never intended to be a part of your destiny. If I had allowed them to stay, they would have been a tether that kept you grounded when I was trying to teach you how to fly. Their departure was not an act of cruelty by them, but an act of mercy by me. I am clearing the deck of your life to make room for the kingdom connections, the people who will see your light and help you fan it into a flame rather than trying to extinguish it. Stop mourning the loss of people who were only meant to be a chapter in your book, not the entire story. I have better, higher, and more faithful companions waiting for you at the next level of your journey. If you are starting to realize that the no you received was actually my shield over your life, I want you to pause and perform an act of faith. Do not let this revelation pass without marking it. If you recognize that my protection is working even when it hurts, then stop for 1 second. Press the like button right now to give thanks. Me for the doors I have closed in my wisdom, and press subscribe to this channel to receive the keys to the doors I am about to open. By doing this, you are telling the enemy that his weapons of rejection have no power over you. You are choosing to trust my sight over your feelings. Type rejection is my protection or 777 in the comments to signal your agreement with my divine redirection. Your gratitude for the no is what qualifies you for the yes that is coming. There is a secret I want to share with you about the way I operate. In the times of greatest trouble, I do not always take you out of the storm. Sometimes I hide you within it. I have a pavilion, a sacred hiding place, where I keep my chosen ones tucked away while the enemy searches for them in vain. You feel hidden right now, do you not? You feel like you have been pushed into a corner, like your talents are being wasted in the shadows, and like the world has forgotten you exist. This is not a season of being ignored. This is your hidden season. Just as a mother hides her child in the womb to protect them while they are being formed, I have hidden you in the palm of my hand. I am protecting you from the premature exposure that would destroy your character before it is fully developed. I am keeping you in the dark room so the image of my Son can be perfectly imprinted on your soul. In this hiding place, I am doing a work of refinement that cannot happen in the spotlight. I am teaching you how to find your validation in me alone, so that when I finally bring you onto the big stage, the applause of men will not intoxicate you, and their criticism will not break you. I am strengthening your roots while the world sees no fruit. You are like the seed that must sit in the cold, dark earth, seemingly dead and forgotten, while the miraculous transformation is happening beneath the surface. The pressure of the dirt is what forces the life out of the seed. You are not being buried by your problems. You are being incubated by my love. Very soon, the earth will no longer be able to hold you, and you will break through the surface with a strength and a beauty that will leave everyone in awe. You were hidden for a reason, and that reason is about to be revealed. Wait for my timing, my beloved. Do not try to force open the doors I have bolted shut, and do not try to chase after the shadows of people who have left. If you force your way into a season you aren't ready for, you will forfeit the blessing I have truly prepared for you. I have a yes for you that is so big, it will make every no you ever heard feel like a distant, insignificant memory. I am your hiding place, your fortress, and your deliverer. When the training is complete, I will bring you out, and you will not have the smell of smoke upon your clothes. You will emerge with the authority of one who has been with the king in the secret place. Trust the process of being hidden, for the greater the hiding, the more magnificent the revealing will be. My child, let us enter the quiet chambers of your mind together. I have heard the cacophony of voices that scream at you the moment your head hits the pillow. There is a war being fought in the silence of your thoughts, a battle for the ultimate territory of your soul. For too long you have allowed the whispers of the accuser to sit at the table of your heart, feeding you the poison of inadequacy and the venom of despair. These voices claim to be yours, masquerading as your own common sense or realism. But I am here to expose them for the intruders they are. They are not your thoughts. They are the fiery arrows of the enemy designed to paralyze your potential and blur the divine vision I have given you. Today we are beginning a divine detoxification. We are going to bleach out the lies that have stained your identity and replace them with the eternal truths of my word. I am the architect of your mind, and I am here to evict every squatter that is taking up space meant for peace, joy, and creativity. The enemy whispers to you that the clock has run out, that you have missed your window of opportunity, and that you are too old or too far behind to ever see the promise fulfilled. He points at your gray hairs or your empty hands and laughs, saying that your best years are in the rearview mirror. But listen to my voice. I am the creator of time, not its victim. I do not operate on the frantic, anxious schedule of a world that measures worth by speed. Remember Sarah. Her body was long past the season of life, yet I caused her to laugh with the pure joy of a new mother when the world said it was a physical impossibility. Remember Abraham. I didn't even start his greatest chapter until he was an old man. Your age is not a cage. It is a stage for my power to be perfected. I can compress 10 years of progress into a single day of favor. I can restore the years the locusts have eaten. If I have given you the dream, the expiration date does not exist. Your late start is actually my perfect timing. Then there is the lie of your past, the voice that reminds you of every stumble, every sin, and every shameful secret you've tried to bury. It tells you that you are damaged goods, a cracked vessel that is only fit for the scrap heap of history. It says that because of what you did or what was done to you, you have forfeited your right to a beautiful future. But I am the great potter, and I have never met a piece of clay that was too shattered for me to reshape. When the world sees a pile of broken ceramic, I see the raw materials for a mosaic masterpiece. I do not just patch you up, I make you new. I take the very scars that the enemy used to mock you, and I turn them into the credentials of your authority. Your brokenness is not a disqualification. It is the prerequisite for my grace to be displayed. I am not looking at the X-ray of your mistakes. I am looking at the blueprint of your destiny that I drew before the foundations of the earth were laid. If you feel the chains of these lies beginning to crack under the weight of my truth, do not remain silent. This is a moment of spiritual realignment. If you believe that I am clearing your mind and restoring your hope right now, I want you to make a declaration of faith. Type, I believe. My mind is renewed, or 8888 in the comments right now. Let the atmosphere hear your agreement. And if you haven't already pressed the like button to signal that you are standing in the light of truth, and subscribe to this channel to continue this journey of mental and spiritual freedom with me. By doing this, you are shutting the door on the enemy's whispers and inviting the Holy Spirit to be the only voice that defines you. You are choosing to agree with God rather than the liar, and that choice is the beginning of your greatest transformation. The most dangerous lie of all is the one that tells you, "I have turned my back on you." It whispers that because you cannot feel my presence, or because your prayers haven't been answered in the way you expected, I must have abandoned you to the wolves. It tells you that you are invisible to me, just another face in a crowd of billions. But how could I abandon the one for whom I gave everything I saw you before you were formed in your mother's womb, and I have numbered every hair on your head? My love for you is not a feeling that fluctuates based on your performance. It is a covenant signed in my own blood. I do not look at you through the lens of your failures. I look at you through the lens of my Son. You are my beloved, my precious treasure, the apple of my eye. My silence is not abandonment. It is a sacred trust. I am closer to you in the silence than I am in the shouting. I am the shepherd who leaves the 99 to find you. You are never alone, for I am within you, beside you, and before you. Stop trying to fix yourself with the world's tools and start seeing yourself through my eyes. The world uses an X-ray to find what is wrong, focusing on the fractures and the diseases of the spirit. But I use the blueprint. When I look at you, I don't see the addiction, I see the deliverer. I don't see the poverty, I see the provider. I don't see the fear, I see the warrior. My word is the bleach that removes the stains of the world's labels. Every time you speak my truths over your life, you are scrubbing away the grime of the enemy's deception. You are not who they say you are. You are not even who you think you are in your lowest moments. You are who I say you are: chosen, royal, forgiven, and powerful. The mental detox is complete when you can look in the mirror and see not a victim of circumstances, but a masterpiece in progress. Breathe in my peace and exhale the lies. The truth has set you free, and you are free indeed. My child, your soul is like a radio constantly tuned to a frequency. For too long, you have been tuned to the frequency of this world, a station filled with the static of not enough, the white noise of anxiety, and the breaking news of impending disaster. You wake up and immediately tune into the frequency of your worries, allowing the rhythms of fear to dictate the heartbeat of your day. But I am calling you to a radical frequency shift. I am inviting you to turn the dial away from the clamor of the world and tune into the frequency of heaven. This is not a passive suggestion. It is the discipline of hope. Hope is not a fluffy, fleeting emotion. It is a spiritual anchor, a steadfast decision to believe. My report over the report of the doctor, the banker, or the news anchor. When you shift your frequency, the atmosphere around you must change to match the signal you are emitting. For many years, you have operated out of a beggar mindset. You come to me with your hands out, trembling, asking for a few crumbs of mercy, hoping that maybe if you beg hard enough, I might notice you. You speak as if you are an orphan, wandering the streets, forgotten and desperate. But I have not called you to be a beggar. I have called you to be an heir. My word says that you are a co-heir with my Son Jesus. An heir does not beg for what already belongs to them. An heir walks into the throne room with confidence, knowing that the Father's resources are their inheritance. Stop asking me to maybe help you, and start thanking me for the help that is already on the way. When you pray from a position of, I am a child of the King, in the very molecules of your situation begin to rearrange themselves. You are moving from a mindset of lack to a mindset of abundance. And that shift is where your miracle begins. I want you to look at the trials you are facing and change the question you have been screaming into the night. Instead of asking, "Why me?" which keeps you stuck in the mud of self-pity, I want you to ask, "What for?" When you ask, "Why me?" you are treating your struggle like a random accident. When you ask, "What for?" you are acknowledging that there is a divine purpose in the pressure. What is this trial building in you? What strength is being forged? What testimony is being written? When you change your question, you change your perspective. You realize that you are not being attacked. You are being prepared. This shift in thinking is the key that unlocks the door of your prison. You are no longer a victim of what is happening to you. You are a partner with what I am doing through you. Understand this mystery. When you complain, you are actually magnifying and praising your problems. You are telling the world and the enemy that your mountain is bigger than your God. But when you offer me a sacrifice of praise in the middle of your pain, you are magnifying me. You are creating a throne out of your worship for me to sit upon. Praise is the frequency of heaven, and the enemy cannot survive in that atmosphere. He thrives on your discouragement, but he is paralyzed by your hallelujah. Hope is the discipline of looking at the dead ends and seeing a highway. It is the ability to see the sun when the clouds are at their darkest. This is the weapon I am putting in your hands today. If you are ready to stop begging and start reigning, if you are ready to shift your frequency from fear to faith, then do not remain a silent spectator. This is your moment to align with the rhythms of grace. Join this family of believers by pressing the like button to signal your agreement with heaven, and subscribe to this channel to keep your radio tuned to my voice every single day. By doing this, you are marking this moment as the day the static stopped and the music of my promise began to play. Type "I am an heir of the King" or 1212 in the comments right now to seal this frequency shift. Let the sound of your faith drown out the noise of your fears. You are moving into a season where your hoping becomes having, but this requires a daily commitment to guard your heart. Do not let the world pull your dial back to the frequency of despair. When the bad news comes, tune into my word. When the loneliness hits, tune into my presence. I am the God of hope, and I want to fill you with all joy and peace as you trust in me, so that you may overflow with hope by the power of the Holy Spirit. You are becoming a beacon of light in a dark world, and your new frequency will attract the blessings that were once out of your reach. The shift has begun. Stay on the line. I am speaking, and my words are life. My beloved, I want to talk to you about the most powerful weapon in your possession, a tool I gave you when I breathed life into your lungs. It is not your intellect, your bank account, or your connections. It is your tongue. Your words are not merely vibrations in the air. They are spiritual seeds that you are planting into the soil of your future every time you open your mouth. I created the entire universe with a word I said, "Let there be light," and light was. Because you are created in my image, your words carry a weight of authority that the physical world must obey. You have been wondering why your life feels like a chaotic storm. But I want you to look at the rudder of your ship. Just as a small rudder steers a massive vessel through the churning sea, your tongue steers the direction of your destiny. If you speak of sickness, you are steering toward disease. If you speak of lack, you are steering toward poverty. Today, we are going to perform a divine reset ritual. We are going to change the direction of your ship by changing the language of your heart. I have seen you dig up your own seeds by speaking negative words the moment you leave your prayer closet. You ask me for a miracle, And then you tell your friend, "I'll probably never get out of this debt." You ask me for healing, and then you whisper to yourself, "I'm just getting worse every day." This double-mindedness is what stalls your breakthrough. Sometimes, my child, the most spiritual thing you can do is to zip it. If you cannot find the strength to speak faith, then remain silent until your heart catches up with my promise. Do not give the enemy the satisfaction of hearing you agree with his lies. Your words are the legal documents of the spirit realm. When you speak a negative word, you are signing a contract with the enemy. Today, we are tearing up those old contracts. We are going to reprogram your atmosphere with the I am declarations that reflect my original blueprint for your life. I want you to take a deep breath right now. Feel my presence surrounding you like a warm embrace. We are going to engage in an interactive session of spiritual resetting. I want you to speak these words out loud if you can, or whisper them with deep conviction in your spirit. Let these sounds vibrate through your very bones. We will repeat each declaration 3 times to anchor them in the heavenlies. Repeat after me, I am chosen. I am chosen. I am chosen. Feel the truth of those words washing away the rejection of your past. Now say it again. I am protected. I am protected. I am protected. Let the fear of the enemy's attacks dissolve into the peace of my shield. And finally declare your inheritance. I am prosperous. I am prosperous. I am prosperous. You are not just talking about money. You are talking about a soul that is rich in peace, health, and divine purpose. As you speak these words, you are literally changing the chemistry of your soul. You are shifting from the X-ray of your current problems to the blueprint of my eternal promises. Every I am is a brick you are laying for your new house. You are building a fortress of faith that no storm can knock down. This is not just positive thinking. This is prophetic decreeing. When you say I am strong, my strength flows into your weakness. When you say I am forgiven, the chains of guilt fall off your wrists. You have the power to call those things which be not as though they were. Stop describing your mountain and start speaking to your mountain. Tell that mountain of debt, that mountain of loneliness, and that mountain of sickness how big your God is. Your words are the containers that carry my power into your physical reality. If you can feel the atmosphere shifting as you speak, these truths, do not let this moment fade away. You must seal this ritual with an act of commitment. Join this family of believers by pressing the like button to signal your agreement with these divine decrees, and subscribe to this channel to receive your daily dose of spiritual recalibration. By doing this, you are making a public declaration that you are under new management. You are telling the universe that you will no longer use your tongue to build a prison for yourself. Type my words, create my world, or 7007 in the comments right now to lock this reset into your life. Every time you see that comment, remember that you have committed to speaking the language of the kingdom. From this moment on, I want you to be the gatekeeper of your mouth. When a negative thought comes, and it will do, not give it a voice. Replace it immediately with a "but God says." If the thought says it's over, you say, "But God says, I am just beginning." If the thought says you are alone, you say, "But God says He will never leave me." You are the gardener of your life, and your words are the seeds. Plant beauty, plant abundance, and plant peace. I am watching over my word to perform it, and when your words align with my word, there is nothing in heaven or on earth that can stop the harvest that is coming your way. The reset is done. Your ship is now steering toward the sun. My beloved, I see you. I see the dark circles beneath your eyes and the way your shoulders carry the weight of a world you were never meant to support. You have been running until your soul is out of breath, convinced that if you stop for even a moment, everything will come crashing down. You have equated your worth with your work and your value with your busyness. But the exhaustion you feel is not just physical. It is the weariness of a spirit trying to do my job. You are tired because you have been striving in the flesh rather than abiding in the spirit. You are trying to force doors open with your bare hands and build bridges over oceans with your own limited strength. I am calling you today to enter into my rest, not a rest that is the absence of activity, but a rest that is the absence of anxiety. This is active rest, where your hands are busy, but your heart is still. Imagine yourself in a small wooden boat on a vast, powerful river. For a long time, you have been rowing with all your might against the current. Your hands are blistered, your back is aching, and despite all your effort, you have barely moved an inch. You are terrified that if you let go of the oars, the water will swallow you whole. This is striving the human effort that relies on grit and sweat, but yields little fruit. But now, I want you to look at the mast of your boat. I am the wind, the Holy Spirit, blowing with a constant divine force toward your destiny. When you stop rowing and start sailing, you are entering the flow of my grace. Sailing requires work. You must set the sail and steer the rudder. But the power that moves the boat does not come from you. It comes from me. Stop fighting the river and start trusting the wind. If you are ready to put down the oars and let my spirit carry you to your breakthrough, then do not stay silent in the shadows of your struggle. This is a holy exchange. Press the like button right now to signal your agreement with this divine flow, and subscribe to this channel to join a family that walks in the rhythm of grace rather than the grind of the world. By doing this, you are letting go of the rowing mentality and embracing the sailing life. Type I am stepping into the flow or 222 in the comments to anchor this piece into your reality. Your act of faith is the signal I am waiting for to fill your sails with the breath of heaven. I am asking you to practice the art of handing me your worries. You have been obsessed with the how. How will the bills be paid? How will the relationship be mended? How will the healing come? The how is my department. Your department is the who and the what. Your job is to know who I am, the Almighty Provider, and what I have promised, that I will never leave you nor forsake you. When you hand me your worries, you are literally taking your hands off the problem so that I can put my hands on it. It is an act of active surrender. It means you keep doing what I have called you to do, loving people, working with integrity, praying with faith, but you refuse to carry the burden of the outcome. You work from a place of victory, not for a victory. Resting in me is not laziness. It is the highest form of spiritual warfare. When you are at peace while the storm is raging, you are telling the enemy that his weapons are irrelevant. You are declaring that your God is bigger than the waves. When you rest, you are making room for my power to move. If you are busy worrying, you are in the way. If you are still, I can work. I am the God who gives to his beloved even while they sleep. I am working on your behalf at 3:00 a.m. I am whispering to the people who need to favor you while you are resting in my arms. You don't have to be loud to be heard by me, and you don't have to be frantic to be effective. The greatest miracles often happen in the quietest moments of trust. From this moment on, when you feel the tension rising in your chest, I want you to stop and say, Lord, I hand this to you. Picture yourself physically placing that bill, that legal document, or that person's name into my open palms. Then take a deep breath and go back to your day with a smile, knowing that the master of the universe is now the manager of your crisis. You are no longer a solitary rower. You are a passenger in the vessel of my love. The wind is at your back, the current is in your favor, and the shore of your promise is already in sight. Rest, my child. I have everything under control. My precious child, you are standing at the threshold of a new era, yet you feel like you are still walking through a thick fog. You have been asking me, Lord, how much longer? When will the keys be placed in my hand? When will I see the light at the end of this tunnel? I want you to look closely, for the season is changing, and the signs of your breakthrough are already blooming around you if you have the eyes of faith to see them. The shift does not always begin with a thunderclap or a sudden windfall of gold. It begins in the quiet places of your soul. One of the surest signs that the door is about to swing wide is not a change in your bank account, but a change in your internal temperature. You will know the season has shifted when you find a supernatural peace resting on you in the very situation that used to trigger a panic attack. When you can look at the mountain that once terrified you and feel nothing but a calm assurance that it is about to become a plain, you are closer than you have ever been. The second sign of your new season is a divine detachment. I am speaking of that moment when you realize that you no longer need the door to open to be happy, because you have found your joy in my presence. As long as you are obsessed with the door remains an idol. But when you surrender the timing, the method, and the outcome to me, you have passed the final test of the wilderness. I wait until your heart is anchored in me, so that the blessing doesn't pull you away from the giver. When you find yourself saying, Lord, even if nothing changes today, you are still good, that is the moment the hinges of heaven begin to turn. This detachment is not a sign of giving up. It is a sign of waking up to the reality that I am more than enough for you. Once you are content in the hiding place, I can safely lead you into the marketplace. Do not be alarmed when the fire seems to get 7 times hotter or when the opposition becomes more vocal than ever. This is often the third sign that your miracle is imminent. The enemy does not waste his ammunition on people who are going nowhere. If you are experiencing a sudden surge of challenges, if people are turning against you for no reason, or if obstacles are popping up at every turn, it is because you have become a threat to the kingdom of darkness. You are nearing the finish line, and the enemy is desperate to make you trip in the final stretch. When the wind is at its fiercest, it means you are about to break through the sound barrier of your old life. Do not let the noise of the storm distract you from the signal of the Spirit. The intensity of the battle is proof of the magnitude of the victory. My power is made perfect in your weakness. When you feel that you have absolutely nothing left to give, that is when I can give you my everything. I wait until your human resources are exhausted so that when the breakthrough happens, no one can say you did it by your own strength. Everyone will have to point to the sky and say, only God could have done this. You are in a position of divine vulnerability, and that is the most powerful place you can be. In this season, I am pouring my strength into your tired bones and my wisdom into your weary mind. You are not failing. You are being filled. If you can feel the atmosphere of your life shifting right now, if you recognize these signs in your own heart, do not remain silent. This is a prophetic moment. Press the like button right now to signal your agreement with this new season, and subscribe to this channel to stay connected to the flow of my word. By doing this, you are marking the end of the old and the beginning of the new. Type "My breakthrough is here" or 1111 in the comments to lock in this season of favor. Your declaration is the key that turns the lock. The door is not just opening, it is being removed from its frame so that you can walk into a life of unrestricted abundance. The fog is lifting and the sun is rising. Can you see it? My beloved, I have seen the ledgers of your life. I have seen the columns of loss, the years that seem to have been subtracted from your destiny, and the treasures you thought were gone forever. I have heard the enemy whisper in your ear that you will never recover what was stolen, that your best days are behind you, and that you must settle for a life of just enough. But I am the God of the turnaround, the master of restoration. And I am here to tell you that I am not just bringing you back to where you started. I am bringing you into a season of the double portion. In my kingdom, when the enemy is caught, he must pay back sevenfold. I am not a God of addition. I am a God of multiplication. I am about to restore your life in multiple dimensions, simultaneously, financially, relationally, and physically, until your cup does not just fill, but overflows so much that it waters the gardens of everyone around you. Remember my servant Job. He sat in the ashes of his life, having lost his children, his wealth, and his health in a single series of calamities. The world looked at him and saw a man finished, a man abandoned by his Creator. But they did not see the end from the beginning as I do. Because Job remained faithful in the fire, because he refused to curse my name in the darkness, I turned his captivity. I did not just give him back what he had. I gave him twice as much as he had before. I gave him a new family, a greater fortune, and a long life of peace. This is the job principle that I am activating in your life today. For every tear you cried in secret, I am preparing a double portion of joy. For every dollar that was taken by deception or misfortune, I am preparing a double portion of provision. You are not just recovering, you are being upgraded. I am moving right now in your financial realm, opening streams in the desert that you never knew existed. You have been worried about the locusts that have eaten away at your savings and the cankerworms of debt that have gnawed at your peace of mind. But I am the one who says I will restore to you the years that the locust hath eaten. I am bringing new opportunities, unexpected sources of income, and divine ideas that will create wealth where there was only lack. I am whispering your name to people in high places, setting up kingdom connections that will bypass the normal systems of this world. You will not have to struggle for this. It will come as a fruit of your obedience. I am shifting you from the stress of how will I survive to the security of how will I give. Your financial restoration is not for your comfort alone, but to make you a distribution center for my glory on the earth. I also see the empty chairs in your life, the places where betrayers and fair-weather friends used to sit. You have mourned the loss of relationships you thought would last a lifetime. But I want you to understand that I cleared those seats to make room for the destiny helpers I am sending your way. I am restoring your social world with people of integrity, people who will sharpen you, love you unconditionally, and stand with you in the heat of the battle. These are the friends who are closer than a brother, the partners who will see your vision and run with it. The loneliness of your past season was the pruning necessary to allow these new healthy branches to grow. Your heart will be healed of the bitterness of betrayal, and you will find a tribe that speaks the language of your soul. And look at your soul, my precious one. I am restoring the vitality of your mind and the health of your body. The stress of the waiting room has taken a toll on your physical being, but I am the great physician. I am breathing new life into your cells, renewing your youth like the eagles and clearing the fog of depression from your mind. I am giving you the oil of joy for mourning and the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness. You will wake up with a song in your heart and a spring in your step, wondering where the heaviness went. It went into the fire of my love, consumed and replaced by my peace. You are being made whole, spirit, soul, and body, so that you can handle the weight of the blessing that is coming. If you can feel this multidimensional restoration beginning to flood your life, do not stay silent. This is the moment to stake your claim. Press the like button right now to signal your agreement with the double portion, and subscribe to this channel to stay anchored in the promises of my word. By doing this, you are telling the enemy that his time of stealing from you is over. Type "I received my double portion" or 777 in the comments to seal this restoration. Your faith is the magnet that draws these blessings out of the spiritual realm and into your physical reality. The years of lack are over. The years of the harvest have begun. My beloved chosen one, the atmosphere has changed. The words we have shared have not fallen on deaf ears. They have been recorded in the ledgers of heaven, and the very foundations of your life have begun to shift. You are no longer the person who started listening to this message. The chains of not enough have been snapped. The scales of never again have fallen from your eyes. And the spirit of heaviness has been replaced by the fire of my presence. I am standing before you now, not just as your creator, but as your shield, your provider, and your most devoted father. This is the moment where we seal the prophecy. This is the moment where the wait becomes now. I want you to still your heart, close your eyes to the distractions of the world, and receive this direct impartation of my power. In the authority of my holy name, I speak directly to the shadows that have hunted you. I command every spirit of poverty, every generational curse of lack, and every assignment of debt to be broken off your life. Right now, I cast out the spirit of infirmity that has been attacking your body, and the spirit of confusion that has been clouding your mind. You are no longer a slave to fear, for you have been redeemed by my blood. I release the anointing of favor upon your head. Every door that was slammed in your face by the hands of men, I now command to fly open by the breath of my spirit. I command the wind of heaven to blow into your finances, your relationships, and your health. Where there was a desert, there shall be a spring. Where there was a wall, there shall be a highway. I am placing my seal of peace upon your forehead. This is a seal that the enemy cannot touch and the world cannot take away. It is a peace that surpasses all understanding, a divine shield that will guard your heart and mind as you walk into your new season. I am removing every lingering trace of bitterness and trauma from your past. I am washing your soul clean and dressing you in the garments of victory. You are a new creation, and your future is so bright that your past will no longer even cast a shadow. I have given my angels charge over you to keep you in all your ways. From this moment forth, you do not walk alone. You walk with the King of Kings, and every step you take is ordered by my wisdom and backed by my power. My child, you are being sent forth as a beacon of my light. You have been trained in the dark room, you have survived the desert, and you have passed the tests of the University of Waiting. Now go forth and occupy the territory I have given you. Do not be afraid to dream big, for my resources are infinite. Do not be afraid to speak the truth, for my word is your sword. You are an ambassador of the kingdom, a vessel of my glory, and a distribution center of my grace. I am with you always, even unto the end of the age. Your life is no longer a question mark. It is a bold exclamation point of my faithfulness. If you have received this energy, if you feel the weight of this blessing deep in your marrow, do not let this moment pass without a final act of seal. This is your amen to the heavens. Type "I receive it all" in the comments right now to lock this prophecy into your life forever. Do not let the enemy steal a single word of what was spoken today. And as a final signal of your agreement with this divine army, press the like button one last time and subscribe to this channel to stay connected to my voice. And if you feel led to strengthen this work and help this message reach another wounded soul, you may send a super thanks as a seed of agreement and honor. Let it be your quiet yes that says, Father, I support what you are doing here. I will see it and I will bless it. By doing this, you are becoming a permanent part of this family of light, ensuring that you will never walk in darkness again. Your declaration is your victory. Seal this prophecy now and forever. Your breakthrough is no longer coming, it has arrived. Walk in it, breathe it in, live it out. You are my pride, my joy, and my champion. It is done. It is finished. It is established in heaven and now manifested on earth. Amen. But wait, my beloved. Do not depart just yet. Stay in this stillness for a moment longer. As I look into your future, I see something very specific. There is a day marked on my calendar in the coming month, a day that will stand out from all the rest. On that specific day, an event is going to occur, a divine intersection that will completely reset your financial reality. It is a miracle that involves a person you haven't spoken to in years and a document that has been sitting on a desk far away. I want to reveal the specific signs of that day to you, the exact symbols you need to look for, so you don't miss this window of visitation. I will unveil the secret sign of the month in our next encounter. Keep your heart open. Keep your eyes on me. I am moving, and the best is truly yet to come. I love you beyond measure.